go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go. Yeah, let it go, yeah. Let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give it all to Jesus. Let it take control. Just say it and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. Tell me that no Master Jesus, your best friend is like a secret anyway. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live easy round, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if they say you will continue to be a zobo, if they say you will continue to be a prostitute, if they say.
Good evening, folks. Welcome. It's good to be back here. I'm Alfonso Zean of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Been away for like more than a month. It's good to be back here. Stay tuned.
Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go. 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 Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go.
Mighty flow. Holla, holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Genesis said, and they planted in his new world. Be the power every day, and while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make a blessing overflow. To be the best among the rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, and while I'm giving praises, yes. I gotta dance the David, they think I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother, may not be in his day. Every time I sing, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness.
All right, folks, let's get the evening going. It's just going to be a little brief one here this evening as I come back. So, equipment being a little bit dismantled. Hopefully, the audio is good. I'm Alfonso Zean. So, back here at the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you, and I welcome. Let's get a conversation going.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay, folks, we want to welcome our viewers. Good to be back here. Let's see here. Let's get this flyer off. We want to welcome you. I'm Alfonso Zean. So more than 6 weeks been off behind this microphone, so it was a little bit pain here. But we want to welcome our viewers. This just a little bit brush out that we will start our regular broadcast. But before doing that, I want to be very, very much grateful to friends, families, those that stood by our side, and those who didn't even have a chance to do that. I believe it was not on purpose, but that is ongoing. So you can't blame people if for any reason they just didn't reach you. But I was very, very much grateful, and I committed followers. There were folks that were reaching out to us even when we're in Liberia during the homegoing of my mother. That was just amazing. You wouldn't know that things that we do here, the impact, significant impact. People are listening. Hopefully, the man from the far right, uh, a long time. Okay, Emmanuel. I was in Liberia. I just got back. What this week? Monday, actually Monday evening, I got back here, and it's like it's not coming to an end. But again, I want to say I'm very, very much grateful to those friends, followers. There are a lot of people that I just didn't know they are just follower of LPR, but they were able to reach out in their own weak ways, telephone calls, messages, inbox, just expressing their condolences and their thoughts and prayer with us. Some came in financial type contribution, but what is much more significant is the connection we have all had on this social network in terms of the relationship, uh, being there for one another. There will be political differences, which is obvious, it's everywhere. But the key thing here, there's other aspect, there's some sort of uniqueness of us as human beings that we empathize and we put ourselves into people's shoe, regardless of our differences and how we disagree with people. And so I was really, really, really blessed. The old man is being laid to rest. It was painful, you know. She's a mother, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, a mother, one who does not love his or her mother. I'm wondering which planet are you from? Your parents, they are blessings, and the Bible says it that we must honor our parents. And so I'll be having some images as time goes on. Uh, but sadly, sometimes we want to question, but we can't keep questioning the old man out there. I got back here I arrived on Monday, last Monday. Family, wife, we all went and got back here Monday. I was preparing to come on Wednesday after picking my son up from school. And then I got another phone call. The lady that I just left in less than 2 days, my wife's mother, she too had passed. So it was just unbelievable. Just got a call you home. Yes, what happened? This what has happened. And we are just all had a time. So this is to show we are in a society that anything can happen at any time. So we have to be very careful how we go about doing things, how we talk, how we receive people. Be sensitive. I do not just adopt that sort of don't care attitude. I say it and I just don't care how other feels. I left on Monday, got here Wednesday, as far as I'm concerned, in good health. Mother-in-law, and she died. We just came. So it's something that is very difficult to process as to why, but we can ask God. But this is that's a life situation. I don't know what's gonna be the end result again. It's kind of like a little bit something you're talking about, but it is what it is. I'm not responsible. You're not responsible. These we are in a very defining moment of our times, and we have to be very very. But overall, I want to say thank you to our many, many followers. For those of you who didn't even have a chance to read, I am aware there are a lot going on. Crazy, the society. You have the Ukraine on this side. We have our own personal lives and things going on in your own backyard as well. And I'm quite sure it was not on purpose. It's, I would say, like an oversight. But for the most part, a lot of our followers, people was reaching out, sending WhatsApp message on LPR number, personal number, Facebook inbox, messenger, and all of that, and just wanted to know how we were doing and how things was going on. That's what makes her human. That's the unique part of human. You know, it doesn't matter. You can disagree with me. I would disagree with you. But would be our brother's keeper, and I really, really enjoy that. But one of the most important thing, I had the opportunity to talk to people off camera because I decided to take this my visit, 1 month, 1 week, just to memorialize my mother, to reflect, to remember her. So I did not open my microphone. Notwithstanding, after everything, I decided to talk to a lot of people, stake actors, people that are playing, and ordinary Liberians that are in the street. And it's quite fascinating to see what is going on in our country. The deception, the dishonesty, not just only with the politicians, but ordinary Liberians, all of us, people in the media industry, Liberian as a whole. And I can say, those who are in the habit of gambling Liberian lives at the expense of their own political gaming is dangerous, and we have to call these people out. 2023, we got to get it up. Liberians are disappointed. Opposition, government, advocates, journalists, talk show hosts, and everybody. We didn't do recording because it has to be a consent. But what is important was to talk to these people, to get the inner part to know what was going on. I used to be out up to 2 o'clock in the morning after everything. And there's a reason. Hey, my guys, interacting. You know, when the night is quiet, that's when you also get the inner part of people and talk to men and women. And I can tell you there are some decent police officers. There are some decent people in the country. But what appears to me, the bad ones are a majority. And so for this reason, it's very, very difficult to really grab or make sense of the good ones. But indeed, our country is at a crossroad. Because one, we do not love our country. We are greedy. We are very deceptive. It's all about ourselves. They don't care about one another. Once you're part boy, you don't care. You don't get a heck of what's going on to your neighbor. And that's what's going on. And I see no evidence that narrative can change right now. It doesn't matter who going to be the next president. See what is happening. I talk to oppositions. I talk to government officials. I talk to ordinary Liberian people that are being labeled as Zoko. I talk to some of those people. And were quite interesting because we have to make information proportionate. We can't be judgmental in this thing here. And were quite interesting, some of the things. Above all, one evening, I was sitting down with my guys and other friends after everything, tried to get some of put behind me what has happened to move on, sitting at recreation center. It was in the evening, there was visibility was still in place. And a gentleman came to me. He kept looking at me. I was looking at him, and if I try to put my eyes on him, he too, he was kind of like give a little bit twist. So I kind of like try to pick up something and try to, I say, something unusual is happening here. And then finally he woke up from his seat and he came. And the first question that came out was, "Are you Mr. So?" I was like, what the heck is going on? Oh, this guy, where is he coming from? You know, you have to be tactical. You have to also be aware of your surrounding. And I said, no. He said, no, you're Mr. So. I know you. I was like, okay, how? He said, you are the host of on LPR, Liberia Public Radio. So he has given 4 descriptions. I try to get me into the point and stuff like that. Like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Is Bamboo going to devour cola in this broad daylight? Let's see what happens. So, gentlemen, you guys, my guys, this is a drama is about to unleash. So I said, no. And then he picked up his phone. He said, oh, Mr. So, I am one of your regular followers. I saw the post, your mother passed, you were coming down, but unfortunately, I couldn't just grab the address. And then he pulled one of my videos of the minute shows and stuff we were always talking about here. And he called his other friends. He said, I'm one of your followers. You come on 8 o'clock, or it can always be like 12 a.m. But even if I don't have data, that's the internet. If I don't even have data to grab it at that night, maybe running late or whatever, I always go back to watch, to listen. So then I took a deep breath and got my little cool Liberian to be like, okay, I think we are about to have a good conversation here. So let me open up too. So I said, okay, so what is about Liberia Public Radio? He said, I follow the other old man called the liberal progressive, the other guy that are calling far right. And Samson told he's a complete mess. We brought in our man Marcus here, being so stereotyped, started calling him Mr. Nairobi. And he said the other guy, the man can call him Mr. Nairobi. Let me bring in Pa George here. Let's see, have a conversation here. We're going to be back here. Amos George is our senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio. Is based in Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. George, good evening and welcome.
Yes, sir. How you doing? How you doing?
Good to be back here. Look, I missed doing this thing here. But we have to do what we can. Let me just end up this story here quick.
Yeah.
So the guy, he said, so I said, what is about Liberia Public Radio? And he said, I always monitor your conversation, but I just want you to do what you are doing. So I'm like, what am I doing? He said, always your conversation, you with your panelists, it's not just only entertainment. You all go after the substance of the conversation to critique, but at the same time, just not only critique, you also put forward a solution. So I said, what is the bad side of it? What can we improve on? You can't let people just give you praises and all of that here. I also want to see where is my pitfall so that we can also enhance ourselves. So I said, what do we need to do? He said, what I don't want you guys to do is to be compromised. And I asked him, compromise in what context? Why, when you say compromise, why? He said, look, some of us, we are disappointed. We are disappointed at the opposition, the advocate, and the very government that were brought into place, because those who profess to be the change agent, they themselves have somersaulted or they have turned the wheel around. And the last resort is the media industry. We want to listen to the media, but we have come to realize the media has become even part of the problem, because more or less these people is about themselves. It is all about them. They don't have the comfort I had. So we just go and listen, but some of us are following. And then I just took a deep breath. I said, in my heart. So people are paying keen attention to what we are doing. It's not just all about, there are some people that don't even watch, but they goes back and see these tapes. So this is to show things that comes out of our mouths. The Bible says this is life and death. People are listening. And a lot of our folks, they need a sense of direction in decision making. So, but that was touching. And from there, we became friends. I said, okay, please don't just only tell me the good side of me. I also want to know the ugly side of me, so that I can help to enhance or work on it. And they are kind of like, have you come to a decision for 2023? He said, no. I said, why? He said, well, I've not heard what I'm supposed to hear. And he was very much vehement. He said, I'm disappointed in the direction people that we took or people we consider to have come to resurrect us, see how they are behaving, see how they are acting. So it shows to me the victims is becoming the victor and the victor is becoming the victim because there were people that these people trusted to see them as people to be the redemptions of what's going to be happening, but people are losing. So let's have a conversation. Pa George, good evening and welcome. It's good to be back here. Look, I took a comprehensive tour, not just only Morovia, outside Morovia. There are some folks, police and other people. We clashed. At the end of the day, we settled down. It was a piece of fun. Fun in the sense that sometimes when people are doing wrong, you don't just tell people that they are doing wrong. You also have to point out and bring in convincing facts. If I'm doing something wrong here, this is a purple, I believe, white here. And if for any reason you see it as a different color, be able to convince me and tell me, say, this is not what I'm saying. And see if you can get me convinced. But look, it's crazy. Let's watch a little thing here. I was driving after my mother's burial. Traditionally, there can always be a feast. You have to go talk to the parents, that their daughter or father is no longer there. And I was traveling to the southeastern side. I am not hearing the conversation, and this is why we're going to pound on these people. These the oppositions, the governments, the advocates, and those who have become so selective in sharing information. They are dangerous to our country, and we need to call these people. The young folks is unbelievable. I was invited by one of my county officials. And say, okay, Mama, you came. I want us to have a how you call it lunch or dinner or whatever. And when I saw the engagement, Liberia is people are stupid people is less costly to deal with stupid people. But I can tell you, Liberians, they are not just stupid. Even though there are few ones there, is no question. But they are becoming more critical, sensitive, and more aware of their country. And I'm happy that some of them are keeping this conversation. Look at this road I go into my county, the southeastern side.
This is Village. One of the places that used to be really bad. It's still bad. Yeah, in here. And they should to go little by little. Yeah. So this is Village. Managed to go. This is regular side Village. One of the bad places on the system bridge. And we get that to show you some footage. And then little by little, this is the federal highway just across from Village Village, where some unit houses owned by the president. The roads here are very, very terrible. We'll show you some of it, and we'll get to name ourselves. We'll show you the difference. So I don't think people have college, I don't think they go. I'm not sure what I can into it. I'm not too sure.
Okay, hold on, let me put my microphone on. We're going to be bringing more of these images. My understanding, the Liberal Progressive is in en route to the States today. Hopefully by tomorrow around this time, we're going to be having another drama. Pa Josh, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. To. How you doing?
Good to be back here. Look, I was, for the most part, trying to follow some of the things that were happening inside Liberia, but I decided to just put aside the microphone, but I was still keeping eyes on what was happening. So what is happening in the opposition world? What is happening in the government where all these too much of drama? The issue is no longer being discussed. It's all about entertainment, political satire. That's just all about it. And it's a pain on our people. It's unfortunate that people have been very unprivileged with the real information. What's going on?
Mr. So, you see, what I continue to tell people, I was in Liberia December. You went February, January, February, you were there. So, but the thing I tell people, most of the people that go, they don't go 50 miles outside, inside the rural area of Monrovia, Liberia. When I went, I traveled almost 100 some miles outside of Monrovia. And I took somebody there with me, who not even from that area, from the southeast. They said, let's go. The man got to the village, the town. He looked around. He said, Amos, what is the feature of these people? I said, you tell me. He said, yeah, these people now, they are just waiting for one, two things. They get sick and die. I said, you see it? He said, because I'm in Monrovia. My first time coming in this kind of area and driving along the road, I can't see anything to tell you that, hey, government is doing something in this area to improve the life of the people. I said, well, that's what Small said. When people are in Monrovia, they think it's the entire Liberia. When people are in Kakatan, they think it's the entire Liberia County. When people are in Banga, they think it's the entire Bon County. Goes to Nima, goes to Rangide. When people are sitting in a town called Sete, their attitudes are quite different. But when you leave, you go 50 miles, 75 miles north or east of that city, that county. Then you get to see what they call abject poverty. No hope. You can't see anything to tell the people of San that, hey, yeah, we see something, so improve my country, things will get better. Cannot see it. Now, but in Monrovia, the drumbeat is there. The government is trying. But if the government is trying, is it a try just in Mosorado or in a provisional city like Magiri, Kakatan, Banga, Ganta, or Saningole, Zedro? What's about the people? Because what about the people in the rural area? What happened to those people? We are not asking this, some of us are talking. But some of those people who got the other microphone, they go right to Monrovia, go to Center Broad Street, go to Dupont Road, Pinsway, across the bridge. Oh, everything is okay. And this is the question.
Let me intercept you a little bit. Are we also responsible? It's just not all about government. You won't believe, I visited most of these political parties, advocates group went there and just jumped in the middle of the conversation, and there's a lot I learned. Are we also doing enough? And one of the things, and hopefully, I might go back this time. Probably, I will try to make time to talk to, because when I went to drop off my daughter to school, Douala is a banana republic. And I think, and Liberia, to be honest, the way we behave, the way we also take, the way we also handle our own country is sickening. Everybody just like the anger you can see it. And I understand the frustration and all of that. But we too, even when you're driving, people sit right in the street. They will be right there, the car right here, and that person sits right there. They won't even move. The only thing they run from is rain. The street is completely blocked. When you stay in that traffic for 3-4 hours, they're not moving.
No.
Why should if we want? Yeah, because it's both sided. If we want development, There are a couple of markets. So I just don't understand, because, and you talk to them, you don't see any concrete reason. Some of them, when somebody asks 1 or 2%, I'm not going to the market, the people will not reach there. Is that enough reason for which, if there's a market and you prefer to come in the streets to sell, because you feel that people won't reach there, and they sit in the street and the street is completely blocked? So what becomes of someone that is sick and there must be a medical intervention, or they got to rush into some kind of clinic or some kind of little place? You can't go through. The keke guys are there, ruthless, motorbike, forget it. They're throwing people down 247. And then I witnessed one 70-second. And I literally went there I stopped to almost slap the guy. What happened? What happened? The lady, I mean, she was all stressed. I don't even know what becomes of her. For the bike driver or people to even to rescue, they were quarreling with her because he said she wasn't holding anything. Is that a reason? So the wickedness and the behavior of the people, that just, it's horrible.
Yeah, and Mr. To, I was about to go down that route. But again, it's all boiled down to system, enforcement, the messaging. Yesterday evening.
Enforcement, when you say enforcement, what is the enforcement?
Okay. First thing, education. The real market, take for example, they said they have built a market to move the people in. And you saw a video of the people water.
I took a tour.
Okay.
Now, the first thing we live streaming, I witnessed everything, believe me or not.
Yeah. The first thing they needed to do is one, do the education part of this thing. The marketeers, educate them. These are the reasons we want you to go there. This is what we are doing here. But you tell the people, when the people go there, no toilet, the water, they only need rain. Then you say, oh, we got to now prepare the place. But what was the feasibility study? You got 5,000 people to realize, according to I think some estimate, they say 5,000 whatever. Then you go build market for 3,000. You have created a room for disaster, for failure already. Because when 3,000 people go, the balance 2,000 will still realize. Then they say, oh, we're not going. Oh, no space. Oh, they will not buy from us. Then the other people say, oh, but you say we should come, but then the other people are still on the road. See the trouble? So planning is one of the fundamental things. Education. These are the things you do to the people. Enforcement of the law aspect. When we educate you, we gave you hey, these are the rules, this is what we're supposed to do. And if you don't follow it, these are the penalties. It's not by beating you. No. We'll make you to comply with the laws. But these are the issues. Take, for example, during early time, there was armed robbery was increased on the rise in Monrovia. And the police suspect that the motor boys were part of that group because they used to take people from New Kruger and get them away to Singapore to do robbery. So what they did is say, okay, to curtail this thing, none of people come to the city. After 10 o'clock, you should not be in the city. Nobody should run. Park your motorbike. In your community, you'll be running. But after 10 o'clock, no motorbike. 2017, I was there. That order, the people got adjusted to it. Motorbike were not in the street. Center Monrovia again, or those areas.
Let me tell you about the issue of this motorbike keke. We are in a critical political season. Even as some in the opposition, if they are opposition and they were the governing side, those people will remain untouched because they are critical to the voting bloc. Nobody going to damage that.
No.
Forget about it.
Yes,
they're not
but
going
yes,
to do anything with them right now. Those people not going to go back. They're not going to get them out of this.
Yes, and what happened? It was personal. We are doing a campaign that I brought them back to the city. But what you see is true. But you can work with these people because continuing education. Because right now it has become the livelihood. You can't take it from them because you got nothing else to give to them. So it's why.
Look,
Call the leadership and start talking to them. But yeah, it's the prime minister. So who's supposed to set the tone? The leadership of any institution.
when
You
we're
saw
talking about leadership, let's give it a fair conversation. Which leadership are you referring to specifically?
okay. If I will now
And
declare,
the reason I'm asking this question, let me just make it like a little bit open-ended to get you a sense to where you want to go, and maybe you already know it. I remember those days, LMA, Librarian Marketing Association. There used to be, I mean, organized, well-organized leadership. And part of that is also, and I'm not sure, and I don't want to be judgmental here, the level of engagement with this community leadership. And these community leadership, the honesty they also bring, whether they can also effectively communicate with their people as a leader. But I can tell you, what I saw in Douala when I went to drop my daughter off to St. Mary's, and those children, those guys, those young generation, look, Liberia is in a real crisis. And I can tell you from what I see and people that I talk, and I mean, for Douala is just, it's over the top. It will
I
tell
spent
you,
3
and if
hours
you
in
hear people
Douala.
talking, you was hear them talking because that was the last place I managed. Some friend called me to go get a gas before I even get to the airport. That one, it was like 3 hours from the port.
Yes,
What they have, brewery, I think beer, something to get a
from
beer,
Freeport. From
yeah, and they get a
Freeport.
gas station there.
Yeah.
They trying to sit down there, the police there. Here we our own government. We tell you what to do. You can't tell us what to do. And because their tone is violent type. Even who did the Christ script and do whatever thing their car, because when you try to do anything, they all just
No,
kind
you
of
don't do anything
gang
more.
up. And because if you do anything, they either spoil your vehicle and nothing will come out
They
of
will
it.
hurt you. You talk about vehicle, they will harm you. Yeah, but here's the thing, Mr. So the motorboy boys, they got leaders. The payment people, they got leaders. But here's the thing here. Where's the parking space? They do I like talking about. I spent 3 hours in the traffic from looking down Resto to Seaport Bridge. Where's the parking space? So the payment can't just stop on the road. The Tesla can't just stop right on the road there. They're not moving. The Tesla park right there, they're picking up people. Where's the transport union? The Texas stop right on the road. The car that going to St. Paul Bridge, stop right there. The one that comes from St. Paul Bridge, stop right there. Then the
No,
paper
everybody lawless in that country. To be honest, what I saw, everybody, no exception, everybody.
No. Yeah, but Mr. To, Mr. So, yes,
Why
the
are
thing
you
here.
calling me to? I'm not. Come on, I'm not a leg bro.
Blogu, I know you're laughing. No, Mr. So, yes, the thing here. You must policy. And if you want to hold a power, you will not be a leader of a country.
When the enforcement come again, don't you think we will come back and sit down here and say that some sort of excessive force is being?
No. Mr. So, it's not about people
The
will
other
complain.
person people respect, I'm not cutting you off, because I was at Red Light when I was making the arrangement for us to go, and we have our sticker we went through. When they hear, so probably is that Mirror Bro, and age, to be honest with her, age is also catching up with her. I mean, she's your woman. But when these people, when they hear Mirror Bro name, when at half mile, they will quickly organize themselves. What is responsible for that?
Because this is why I challenge you, Mr. So it's about leadership. When
Is it that she forceful in implementation or what?
Yes, she's not back. She's not worried about what you're going to say about her tomorrow, or oh, I got to do this because I want it tomorrow. I will come back. No. When Broad Street up, I mean, it's not on Newport to other area for that road to go up there.
So it's like she's like a utility player because everywhere there's a mess, mirror bra. So do we need to manufacture another group of mirror bra types that will be going there to fix the system? Because I'm telling you, when mirror bra name is mentioned, when mirror bra is at relay, people at 72nd Junction, they are quickly organizing themselves.
But because why? She's confronting them. She's not just sitting down and saying this and that. She's confronting them, speaking the same language they understand. But when you want the political correctness, that's a problem. Sometimes you get to somebody saying, like today, Mr. So remember, I think is it the last Saturday in Liberia or what? It's Marie Broad Day. She's no more, I said to her, but the people still observe that Saturday to clean the shop and open right at 9 or 10 o'clock. I think it's the third Saturday or some Saturday in the month. She's no more, I said to her. But that day, that Saturday, they set aside. Today, people are still observing it. People are still observing it. So it tells you something about people. When you want to do something, and if it is right, don't worry about it because there will be criticism, there will be condemnation. But at the end of the day, the people say, oh, yes. Mr. So, those days, the people suddenly you see the people cleaning the street. They have people on Broad Street. They will tell you, my man, if you drive anything, pick it up. They say, Mary Brother, they will tell you, if you drop anything there, you pick it up. So that's what telling their friend. You see that applicant, don't drop anything there.
But our people, they don't listen to people.
But because they got to know what you are doing is paying up now. They see the city clear. They see the street clean. They say, okay, my man, don't put that order. But when you got a mayor saying, oh, my duty was not to come and collect garbage or this and that, the people putting the dirt there, people are quarreling in the community engagement.
So
go to the community.
Common sense kick in as well because these community they have leaders, and part of
that's what I'm telling you.
It's also enhance the policy of maybe the national government or even the community, the clinic. Like my own area, within the Ghana's Bell. Do you think how the leaders they do have community leaders election as well? Are these people listening to their leaders?
They sometimes
do they understand? And that's a serious question there for all of us as librarians. Do we understand when somebody is a leader?
We do understand
what it means to be a leader.
Yes, we do understand. But yeah, it's the thing. When you tell the people that you're going to do this, and your friend gets involved, then you bend the rules. That's where most of the failure comes from. That is the problem with us. We say nobody should do this. But my friend can't do that. I say, okay, my man, we got to consider that, man. Then you trick up. Rather we trick or something. They never go. And the man friend did it. I think say, oh, hey friend, you see that. But if you say no, they will go and tell their friend, my man. That man friend was in the party already. He said the man will go. They go with that. That's how we lay him up in. That's how. Why you think when they say people are powerful? Why people are afraid of these people? It's not so many people don't come in contact with these people.
So
but they're friends.
Let me ask this question. I had an experience and I was compelled to intervene. For those of us that are here and people every now and then vacationing going down for different reasons. Are we also having this sort of engagement where it's necessary to make somebody to understand? And I'm going to get to the point. How to call it? I think Nizo, Jakarta.
Yeah.
There is a route there all the way that puts you all the way to Park Hopping.
Yeah.
That route, there's somewhere there's sort of deep, really deep curve. My brother and I were driving, going there. And this taxi driver, I said, did it break down or something? But I think he was packed, something or whatever packed. But I mean, the curve was really bad. And this police guy came and tried to talk to him. And he was insulting this policeman. I mean, they were, and by the time you leave the curve, you're just gonna. I mean, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, just like you're going straight
My
into him.
yeah, my older brother, senior brother, he's the guy. He's something. Whole day he and people making fuss in the traffic and stuff like that. So we stopped. I mean, to the extent he wanted to fight the police officer. So we started saying, do you recognize this guy, who he is? He said, yes. So I said, who is he? He said, police. So I said, but where you park? But regrettably, we have this ordinary Liberians who also encourage drivers and other people to endanger their lives, and they think it's funny. Because when you said you're in the car there and the guy is parking right there, another vehicle is coming from in the corner, and by the time you leave the curve, you just block there. The possibility somebody can slam you there, and you think anything can possibly happen to you. And when people try to talk, these people to come in the defense of those people. And I saw him having, I said, what you are doing here? If you were in the Ivory Coast, gendarme or police stop you, and you're doing that, or because maybe you're getting the man get on the face cap and nothing, I mean, you will be in serious trouble. And some of you sit in here, you'll see this guy where he's parking it. It's a very, and there was no, usually when a car breaks down, right? You have to grab like some sort of object as an indicator that there's a
warning sign.
Yeah, there's some sort of disabled vehicle ahead. Nothing. And you had the people sit there. They were there. Some people sitting in the car. Some people on their phone. Somebody could, God forbid, could just slam in there because, I mean, it's a really bad curve. And the police were just trying to tell him, hey, you need to move, move this thing here a little bit because it's in the wrong position. And he was there arguing. He wants to, you can't move it.
Yeah.
We can't have a society like that. Let's be honest.
Yes, again, Mr. Sue, it come back. The policeman, our system, it has been terminated. First thing, you have to know that any policeman see they can bribe. There was a police guy, I think a Martino guy.
Just dwell on the scenario. I mean,
yes, but
the policeman.
And here's the thing, because what I'm trying to say is that this officer, he asked the guy for his license, and the guy gave him the license, and he wanted to go behind the officer to get something. So the other guy to him and say, "Hey, you wasting yourself time." That officer there, he will not don't give him money because he's not going to give you that license. So you see that his friend, I already told him that his friend had dealt with that officer. He said that one officer in the traffic, when I see that officer, he pull you over, forget it. Don't even go there with money business. He will carry you. So what I'm trying to say, these officers, most of them in the street, the way they interact with these drivers, they get to the point that drivers doesn't even respect them again. That's what my member from here. Some of the passengers will be talking to the officer. And
is that a good thing to do?
It is against the law. Those people in that car, if anybody open their mouth to that officer is supposed to get a citation. That's interfering. But are these people being educated? The pedestrian, the human being, are they being educated to the laws that, hey, if an officer stops any driver.
Educated in which way, Pa Josh?
To know that, hey, these are laws that you cannot intervene if the officer stops a driver, a motorist. If you are not asked to say anything, you're not supposed to say anything to that officer. He's only dealing with that driver.
Some people, they are the first to insult. So
that's what I'm saying.
So that means they know what they are doing. Let's be honest here, because as I witnessed, I saw a lot of things. The police, they have their own problem. And I spoke with one of the police higher up, and I was wondering where was this community and police. There's something called community and police relationship.
Yeah.
But for now, from what I see and the behavior of the people there, all of us and people, I'm not sure whether that is either working.
No, the police don't have a rapport with the community, and the community doesn't have a rapport with the police. There's mistrust.
Why?
Mistrust. There are mistrust. Some of the people, the police are not there with the police directly, but misinformation. What they see on Facebook, what is going on?
Okay, so then let's come to the boiling point of this conversation. Let's assume and let's be a little bit say the system is polluted, the system is incorrect. Are we having the political leaders? Oh, let me see. Okay. Let me move this here. That's another thing we want to talk about. Another insane and crazy thing in that time is this siren.
Oh,
Right now, my ear is I'm still hearing some sounds in my ear because it looks like all the Chinese lights, they're no longer in China. They are all in Liberia now. Every car is carrying blinking light down on stuff and things. Do you think the conversation, the opposition, they are looking for state power? And part of that is to point out the ills and have this sort of conversation in order for the electorate or the citizen to be educated. Are they having that conversation?
no.
Can we trust saying what they are saying? Because
I don't know what they are saying right now.
Complete disgrace.
I don't see what they are saying right now.
I have said this over and over. They are complete disgrace. These people, they have not even get within the proximity of leadership, and their behaviors like this. When we put that, then that too, it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm not saying them doing anything right now.
Why? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not having the conversation? Why are they not telling? Why can't they set them? Do they have? Is it that they don't have the capacity to do that, or is it that they just because Liberians love drama, the Liberian loves entertainment? So you see, most of the media outlet, people make up things because they want to kind of draw people with closer, and so Liberian will like to play with fun bags. So the politicians are taking us to be like a fun bag. They don't take us serious because we don't hold them accountable. We don't discuss the issues. We are not willing to discuss the issues. We have lawmakers who are not even sitting with their communities. For God's sake, it's the first branch of government. There are three branches of government. These institutions must work simultaneously. Yes, we see the executive in third world countries like Liberia plays a dominant role. Or are they having the conversation as well to say, you know what, we need to change the status quo. We need to do something. See how these guys are behaving.
No, the opposition right now is in disarray.
And I asked one of the top insider, I'm not talking about second-handed, top insider among the four, and ask a specific question. Do you think this coalition is still alive? And it was very much crystal clear. The coalition is there. That's it.
No, it's there. And because right now the opposition is in disarray. And that's why I see many Liberians are very disappointed.
Are you surprised?
Not really. But what that I'm surprised about is not just that they went a separate way, is the legal wrangling that is now taking place. Because normally, like everybody break and go their way. But this is the first time I see not just breaking away now, but the legal wrangling that is.
If you follow the history of coalition, this one is the worst. It's the worst.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Normally they will break away and go that way, but this one now is gone a little bit It's all the top with the legal ranking that involve people not just
Is
bringing
it fair to say the self-destructions of the opposition came within the opposition? Hearing people say, "Oh, people infiltrate the system." It's always like that. People always want to get a weak side of it. So the self-destruction came within. It came within the opposition.
But so yeah, people can go on and accuse who they want to accuse, but it came from inside. It is from inside. It's not kids that doing these things. It's grown-up men. It's not kids. I mean, you want to blame someone for destroying your house? If you don't agree, how your house will be destroyed? You agree to destroy your own house, then you want to blame other people to make it as an excuse?
Are we asking Liberians, are they asking the questions because there was a commitment? Some of them made that commitment. Who are responsible if this failed? Are we asking? Their supporters, their supporters have the courage to ask them that question.
And you see, this is the problem. I saw it's on tape. One of the person involved who allegedly sued the other person was the one who made that commitment, who made that bold statement. If we don't do it, you're all responsible. And nobody going back to him to say, hey, play by the tape. So what are you doing today?
Why are they not asking that question?
When you see again, then everybody have the side they want to take and talk what they want to hear. You know? If I maybe Beninairo was interviewed, how many times since this case started, the saga started, how many times he has a press conference? How many times the press are going to approach him? No. To say, hey, there was the statement you made. So with this statement, how come we are here? How can you reconcile this statement? Nobody. I think the only show appeared was his son's show, Costa, and Costa, we're not asking that question. We're not playing that tape to ask that question. That's it. But the local journalists in Moravia now asking him to say, hey, you are one of the who spoke that if this thing doesn't hold, the Liberian people should hold you responsible. And now your party is part of a legal lawsuit that is tearing this institution down. So what can you say to the Liberian people? Nobody asking this question. And again, because it is Liberia. And one of the things, the last thing coming out is the lawmaker. These people don't feel accountable to their people. They don't.
Is that a way to go?
It's not a way, but this is why we continue. Someone continue to speak, and we continue to urge people on the ground in these countries to hold these people responsible. And I'm trying maybe to work on something in Bone County. Benito, everything. I will try to talk to you. A second, this guy, Representative Melvin Cole. This guy was the one that Joy Howard brought into her office, brought him to permanence. He had insulted her on numerous occasions. The other day I saw this guy, the corruption in the country is also, I got some document that some group that went to investigate some some institution. The massive corruption, the money that the people have mismanaged in that country. But this guy had a nerve to sit down that he now begging the sitting vice so they can reconcile. Because you know what? The election is coming next year. So now he want to go back to say, oh, I'm sorry. And I said, what is this? You young man, you went with this woman. She brought you. She kept in for you before. But because you feel now you got money on top of things, you go ahead and insult her. You urge your office staff to insult anybody in the country that will say anything. Then you come back and say, oh, I want to apologize so we can move on. You're not apologizing because you insulted. You apologize because you're sick. You smell something. You see some sign. So now you want to go back to say, oh, he reconciled. But this is the level of these people. They don't, once they get that part, they don't respect the people again.
For the most part, I was hearing from some of the young generations. I don't know what they say will be implemented or they will follow through with their comments. Some of them are hearing, okay, we'll see 2023. Is that just something they're trying to
Oh, no, don't take it for a joke. Don't take it for a joke. This is why you see some of them now, are trying to say, oh, they want to be homo. But the records are there. You can't be homo with all those records. Because by the time they get out 6 years, they tend to abuse these people until the 5-year ending. Then they say, oh, okay, we're coming back now. And I always want to make reference to my country. The money that these people have gotten for that country, and they cannot show anything, any tangible development. The person is on her that someone spent 10,000 and they said that town hall 100, you'll not believe it.
You know,
It is hard. So it's not just the executive, it's the 3 branches of government. People have, the opposition have let the people down. Then those in government that are supposed to champion the cause, they have also let the people down. Failure.
The clergy, the religious community. I went around Bonneville, somewhere, I call it Johnsonville, Quebec, or so whatever place it. And then I saw this group. The next thing was, well, I mean, everybody have the right to roam, but nowadays, I think people have come to realize it's profitable being in government. You quickly amass wealth overnight. And there's a bishop there was the building, some kind of market, he said he's going to be contesting for representative. So I don't know who really praying, who interceding for us, for the nation. Everybody wants to go on Capitol Hill because Capitol Hill is the boiling point.
Yeah, well, that's what Professor Lumumba said, that the fastest place to get rich is politics in Africa. That's a quicker place you can get rich from, politics in Africa. Why these people continue to market? Why aren't they focusing on schools? Why aren't they focusing on schools? It's a market. Yes, market group, but what about the education of those children?
They don't have no place to sell, so probably they are trying to build more markets for them to go there.
Why they cannot try to upgrade some of the schools? I get it here, market is all right. But what do people even have to sell in the market?
I'm wondering, what are these projects? Is it the request of the people? Do they sit down with the community and have community interactions? So this is what we want. This is our priority number 1, priority number 2, in order so that they can execute, or they just throw these projects or these sort of projects at the people, or what?
Most of the time,
do you think the community engagement goes on?
No. But you see, let me go to the top. You see some of the person drive the place. They say, we're building this thing here. It just make the pronouncement. What was the community engagement? Because so when you dream, there are projects when you're doing, you engage the community. You have to take into account the size, the population in that area. What you're going to do? How many people will benefit? Is it feasible there? Or if it's not feasible, where can you direct that project? Engage the community. And that's one thing is not happening in Liberia. So you see, Mr. So, most of the projects...
Is the community willing to be engaged?
Yes. But Mr. So, and this is why I continue to say, if you engage the community and let it take charge of that project, let it be involved, then it becomes difficult for people to destroy those things.
Okay, we are the conduit between the communities, society, governments, and all of group. Let's look in our own eyes to see where we are falling short of this whole thing, because we are very crucial in this process of national reconstruction, rebuilding, decision-making process. The media industry in Liberia, are they doing enough?
No. We are not
in Liberia. We in the diaspora, are we doing enough? Are we honest with the electors? Because part of our job is to inform, educate, and allow these people to make informed decisions. The conspiracy theory, the lies, the innuendos, and everything, the subliminal messages, falsehood that is being pushed out there too, it has confused the citizens. So they don't, the sense of direction is being lost.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. We are part of the problem because we take sides. And the moment we take sides, so then we cannot be factual in our presentation, in our analysis. Because when you travel, you go out there and you see something. But because you have taken side, you don't want to say, you don't want to ask the rightful question. Take for example, some group left when they went to Liberia. Before they went to Liberia, they made a pronouncement that, hey, we're going to have a one-to-one with the president, and we will broadcast that. Guess what? They went to Liberia. They met the president behind closed doors for 4-6 hours. Nobody heard anything. What they said, the king people giving their own personal story. When they asked, when they met the man said, I'm not a newspaper, if you want to talk, you can go there and get your own news. Some flimsy excuse. But yes, I can go to Liberia if I have the opportunity to meet with anybody. But in which capacity am I meeting that person? And what the conversation is going to be centered around? I went to Liberia. I think so. I know I went to, but I know I appear on any platform because I said I was not here for that. But I went around. I met one or two persons, but there's nothing wrong. Government or the conversation was not that I said because I was not here to talk politics. I didn't come for politics, so I didn't want to do anything.
Why?
So because
you love talking politics. Why you chose not to talk politics?
Oh, because I didn't go there. I went on a different program, and if I would have gone into that, maybe some of my family would have said,
"Oh, was there a fear factor or what?"
Oh no, not fear factor. It was like I didn't go there for that. I went there for something different, so I didn't want to do it. So I told my friend, I said, no. Next time when I come, I'm coming as a visitor now. Then we can open our can of worms. But I said, right now, I want to start talking, and people will say, oh, but you came for this. This is what now you're doing. So I said, no, let me leave it like that. But when you leave from here, I'm traveling on a business trip, and I'm going to sit down with these people. I'm going to have a conversation about the country. Then it should be open. It should be open. But you can't leave with the impression that you're going to have the conversation, and when you get there, you don't have the conversation with the people. Or when you have a conversation with the people, you do it behind closed doors, then you can't say, oh, it was lively. No. Then people will start looking at you a different way. Because the purpose of the trade was to go to talk to these people, major players. But you go, you just photo up with all of them. You could not sit down to have a one-to-one interview. I'm on the ground here. I'm seeing what's happening. What you doing about it? How are you going to address this issue? If you don't agree, then I say, okay, look, we can meet, but I don't think it'll be an official meeting. But because this is what
I had a similar scenario.
Yes.
I mean, I was kind of like pushed last minute to time, but and I just decided to take a decision because I try as much as possible. All of the headquarters and one or two persons said they're not prepared to do interview, but wanted to meet. What's the point of our meeting? I want to hear things from you. I want to know how far we are. I want to know where you want to take our country. So if we are not willing to answer these tough questions and you just want us to talk, what we want to talk? What's the essence of the conversation?
And so then, here's another point. Because if you say that we're not going to have an interview, then of course.
Why are they afraid of interview?
The unknowing. Many things is the political incorrectness that I don't want to say the thing, then people say this and that. And I have told many people, I said, there's a mistake many politicians make. I said, the more you engage the press, the better you become. But I say, if you're trying to hire yourself,
to see this guy is a little hell on earth. They are so protective of them.
Yeah, everybody, nobody wants to think that the person say the wrong thing.
I don't know what is that. What is that? A loyalty or what?
You know, it's so funny they think that they are protecting that person. And I say, it's wrong. You're not protecting them, but you're harming the person. Because the more the person engages, the better they become. Because if they are not engaged, most of the time you see that when they go to somebody press conference, they miss some gap, then they start trying to come back to correct it because what? They are not engaged with the institution. And also, the media, we have some part to play also. Because
what could be the example?
Some of the people don't want to talk to someone because they feel that you insult them. You know, they come on your show, you insult them, and you talk to them, you talk down on them. I mean, that is not what many people don't want to do. But
unfortunately, these are things Liberian dive into. These are things Liberian law. People insult, no civil conversation. They are not talking the burning issues that are affecting the country, the citizenry, the society, and these people that they support. So it lessens their burden, because if you and I try to have a concrete conversation, and you have somebody on the other left-hand side pushing conspiracy theory, talking things that are just not meaningful, that doesn't even make sense. They just sit down to make up news. They want to break news. They want to be the first to tell the narrative. But these are things people love, so it makes it very difficult. It challenges people in this industry that even when you want to have a genuine conversation, the very people that support them, they become so much protective of them. Do not go there. That guy doesn't like you. He's not one of us. He wants to destroy you.
Yes, but that we have to continue to push it, because the community, the society at large, look at us. So we have to change the narrative. Tell someone, look, I'm not there to come and throw the kitchen sink at you. We just want you to tell the public what you want to do. And we are mindful of being respectful to you. So, but again, when we all got sides we support, but you have to be careful when you're talking to other people, because you have to talk to somebody to convince them. You want to convince somebody. If you go with that attitude of being arrogant, boisterous, they're not going to open up to you. So the press, we have a major role to play. I can disagree with somebody respectfully and try to put a point across. But again, the people who are around some of these people barricade them and say, hey, no, these people don't like you. So these are the problems. Mr. So, give me 1 minute. Then bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, we are just pushing the buttons around here. Let me see what I can put it there here. We're going to be starting our regular broadcasting as usual. All of us were out of this place for some time, and the Liberal Progressive is en route. Hopefully, he's going to be back here. But let me show you this footage here. Is one of my routines traveling. The traffic is another thing in the city. Everybody violating. The pedestrians, drivers, all sides, everybody. This is just a little portion, and I'm gonna be playing more, but not tonight here. But this is how sometimes Monrovia looks like.
Of course, it would be as advanced, as cost-effective, as available.
see, I'm right behind, and I'm driving. I'm right behind this Chevrolet, and that's around Comforton Bell. We've been over there for like almost 2 hours plus. 2 hours, literally, and we could not move. When you see the opposite lane there, more or less was free. Now we're gonna be moving a little bit. I am driving this car with the little boy Philadelphia on this, right behind this Chevrolet, and on dashboard here is here with the Sparta Philadelphia 76. I'm right behind that car. See the guy passing there? He's the only 1212. Now we're moving a little bit. Okay. But George, I reckon go down there. I was I was right behind that Chevrolet, and I think we were there for like maybe approximately 2 hours. That's one of the things. The driver, they create an insane situation. There are some other videos subsequent later we're going to be playing during our subsequent program. People leave the lane they have no business traveling. They leave those lanes and go. And part of that too, authority too, they are also responsible because when they become violators, when they break that rule, obviously the person behind you going to follow suit because most of the people, and it makes the job. I feel bad for. I will tell you, there are some really decent police officers. I've encountered some of them. All right, and they talk to people nicely. They're not all of them to ruthless.
No, no,
Just
no, no, no,
how
no,
people
no.
want. They're not all of them. And to be
No,
honest, they're not all of them.
no, no, no,
But
no.
these people, they makes the job so difficult. And I was talking to one senior officer. What can they do to alleviate 72nd Ministry of Health area there? That junction and that EAWA, I think that whole place up all the way going to LRA. Now they are doing the road from coming from rail like EABC, and those people they 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 drove them from down there. They come right back to Habel supermarket, there, sitting right in the street selling. Let me see here. Maybe this person wants to have something here. Okay, hold on, caller. Let me see. Let's see here. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Yeah, I'm Frank Dennis Nahue. I'm calling from the state of New York.
Okay, Mr. Nambit, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay,
I'm not super good, so
thank you so much.
feel courage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm following the show.
Mhm,
I'm following the show. Welcome back.
mhm.
And you just play on video that you're talking about, how long you stay in traffic. Our country, better, we just have to, pray because there's a parable is there, the fish, when you wrap it from the head, don't expect anything from the body.
So, do you
I'm
think,
following, I'm
Mr.
going,
Namwe,
yeah.
talking about the hair, fish, beans, rotting? These are literally where we can we do something to change that as well? Do we have a part to play to change that sort of to change something? Do you think?
Well, for me, there's there's no other word, or there's no other description that I can give to such a situation that our country faces. The problem here, the leadership in our country, we made a great mistake. We made a great mistake. We all were expecting change, but there's no change in our country. Things have gone from bad to worse, Mr. Pro. You can come from far to west.
Is there an alternative? Is there?
The car that was before your car, there is no place. If that car happened to hit somebody, how will you trace that car? How will you identify the car that hit the person?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure whether there's a plate in the front, so I don't want to run a full judgment on that. But I think that's a good observation, and I'm looking at it from a backstage here. But if there's sometimes you can have one plate at the front and one can be at the back. At all times there should be a plate, but if there's a plate at the front, then that's a different thing. But do you think how can we?
Even if that one plate, there should be two plates on the car, one at the front, one at the back, that you can easily, identify the number from the front, or even if the car park or you don't see the number in front, you can see the number from the back. So it will be two plates. It will be two plates, but we have one plate.
Should the driver also be held responsible, knowing fully well that the system, every vehicle must fly two license plates? Instead, just judging from what we see from the back here, let me put it on the screen here, and I will pause you. I will pause. I will certify here. Okay, you're quite correct. I'm not seeing license plate at the back here, but should that driver also be held responsible? Because that's part of his job. You should have the vehicle must be comprehensively complete. Full identity must be established. That's not the case. Can we also anyone to be held responsible? Yeah.
Not driving with two plates, but really it's the government. There are laws in the country. The executive is there to enforce the law.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here.
Don't expect anything from the body.
Okay. I want to see. Okay. So, let's see here. Mr. Willie here is saying. Mr. Willie is saying not every state carries two plates. Can we buy into that?
In my state, if your vehicle has one plate on it, they give you ticket. I'm in New York. I'm in New York. My state is the matter of most you drive with two plates, one at the front, one at the back.
Okay, so Mr. Momalud Saron is justifying his argument. In the state of Delaware, we are using one plate. So we don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to look at other photos, but I'm not sure whether I was able to capture the front of that vehicle. So I don't want to be judgmental here as to whether it have that. So assuming if there's a plate in the front of that vehicle, what it means. Yeah, so okay, see, there are a lot of free thinkers. That's what I like about this network here. I know Mr. Keita is saying here that sometimes it takes 3 months to get a plate. So it means there's be a temporary plate, and if there's a temporary plate, so you see how open-minded the people we can have to be in our conversation. When it is a temporary plate, it means that plate would be I believe a windshield by George, correct? If they give me a temporary, sometimes it goes at the back or it goes at the inside part.
Let me say this, Mr. So.
It takes 3 months to obtain a plate. I mean, there's no such thing.
Mr. So.
Why should it take 3 months to get a plate?
Okay.
Why?
All right. Hopefully, maybe we'll get authority. Maybe I don't know, Ministry of Finance.
Transport.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me bring Pajoy. Pajoy.
Yeah.
Okay. So Keita says so sometimes it takes 3 months to get a plate.
Well,
is that an arguable point?
I don't know now, but I used to work with motor vehicle before. at the Liberia National Park as an analyst. There's no way those days that would take you 3 months to have a plate. When you get your car, those days, you go to the Ministry of Finance, you pay your money. I mean, the bill, you go to the bank and pay your money.
So this comparison here, those days, normal day, I don't know which one is the bad day now. So which one is really good now? Those days? So can we say those days were better than today's date today, or what?
In terms of certain things, so yes, because when people used to buy, when they used to get the car from the dealership.
So what did we change from to what? We changed from what? From better to worse?
It's from better to worse.
I'm not talking about within the context of this government here. Generally, there was a revolution, and the essence, and people see the revolution to transform, and that's what people don't understand too. They get a saying that say there's no pain, there's no pain, no gain. We want things to happen, but we don't also want to have the pain of it. Meaning, there are some other people building anywhere they want to. You can't even find a real route. You give them a chance, they will put a house right in the street, right on the quarter. They will put it there.
No, don't. And Mr. So, here's the thing here. What would someone say, and people don't let you hear, and which is the truth? The revolution we talk about, the revolution is always about change. Now,
what sort of change?
It's about change. I said it's about change.
Yeah, what sort of change? What's the revolution's ultimately? What sort of change?
I mean,
it can be good, it can be bad.
Yes, but obviously the best reason is people hope for better. That's what people always hope for. But sometimes it don't end up to be that way. But what I'm trying to say is that 2014, I was in Liberia again. Those streets in Singa, some of those streets, the people went and built into the roadway. So when it rained, the water got nowhere to go. You see the people dishes floating over the water. I'm talking about single fireman at that time. And I asked them, why would the people choose to build homes in the swamp when they see the road? Because the road had caught during the war, so that and you go and build a house there, and when it rains, it comes and sweep the place. Again, it goes back to this political correctness. If you're familiar with Matari, or Matari, when those units were built, 1979, 40, that was the OAU, those are the project. The cooking, they went to build new Matari. But at Matari Junction, new and old, to go to old Matari, on the right-hand side there, Mr. So, if you go there today, all the places got pipes, sewage pipe. The government ran pipe in all the places. In fact, that place, we used to play football there. There was no.
Which one? We used to play.
I used to play number 4.
Number what?
Number 4. You talking about lesson, man?
My goodness.
So right there, Mr. So.
You ever score your own goal?
No, I used to score my own goal, man. Right there, Mr. So. That place was empty. Go SOS, that whole place was empty. Mr. So today you go there, the place is a shanty town now.
Okay. We'll soon be wrapping on here.
Look at this place. Romofi, best man area. Romofi, what we so called Popo Factory. The fence is up there on a hill, because inside there used to be football field. That's where we had. Don't you know, Mr. So I went there, people have built houses on the ground of water and sewer, because that is the whole property of water and sewer. People have gone into the fence and build on the football field.
So why should people also know something that is not right? They do it on purpose, deliberately to do it.
Now,
Why should they
the
do that?
result is when you do it, what is the message from the government? Break it down.
Want to break it down? Will we not cry wolf the government destroying?
So this is the problem I come back to. If you want to rule, you cannot hold the Bible in your hand, because you will not please everybody.
You will come back here if they begin to demolish and destroy you. You will come back on this network that the government is.
I'm not one of those. I would never. What I'm talking about, water and sewer, you go and build in the alley. You go and build on communal property. Like, for instance, I told you, I said, if I was someone in authority.
Our people, to be honest, with all of the things, what I saw, our people, people are stubborn, they are defiant, and people get away with it. That's the sad thing.
That's why I'm going to say, Mr. So, human being as a whole, we are very stubborn. So the only thing that can control our behavior, to change our behavior, is a proper enforcement, compliant with certain laws. When they say don't pass here, don't pass here. Look, Mr. So, all the alleys in Liberia, people have built proper houses there. When you ask them, oh, I bought it. Who you bought it from? They say alley, they say you bought it from somebody.
Yeah, I think part of that, because I have a similar problem. Part of that is I think if people buying land, I went to land authority, there was an extensive conversation, because these are things that bring trouble.
Yes.
People get a habit when they're buying the land, the seller will say, oh, I want to bring my own surveyor. Obviously, that person, that is a red flag, because he or she knows they can throw you anywhere. But when someone comes from the Ministry of Public Works, perhaps they're going to come with a diagram and they will know where there is an alley. But the seller will not tell you that, because they need money. And don't worry, man, nothing going to happen. Because I went to Boys Town there, behind the estate area there. Now, Public Works, there are some houses that are literally finished, but they are being marked. And some of them, there's an indicator there, the time they mark those houses to stop working.
Yes.
From some of them from 2000 something, and still people going ahead to carry on construction. Now, if, for example, such a house, if it is demolished, because the alley development has to go on, there must be a rule for people to connect from one place to another. If such a house is broken down, to what will we think about the government?
Oh, hey, for me.
Should they be compensated? Even though they were told not to do it, should they be compensated, you think?
No. If you don't know, it's a different thing.
If we make you police director, can you execute that?
Oh, sure.
You and people will fight.
Look, I had an incident with somebody before I left that was doing charge at the time. Somebody, some official government from Charleston had an incident. And I told someone to beat him. I said, if he hit somebody.
If you hire away, the defiance Liberian are, defiant we are, I'm part of the Liberian bloc. Who do you think can execute, enforce, and stabilize, and make sure the law of the country works forcibly? Who do you think? Joseph Boyka?
Someone who is principal.
Joseph Boyka, Alexander Cummings?
Nah.
Yombi Kanga? Benena Yuri?
Joseph Boyka. I don't know. I don't know. This man, Honorable Boyka, I don't know his track record of being a disciplinary or enforcer. Yombi Kanga, I don't know. I don't know. But I have seen something, one or two things in comments. The more recent thing was that Abatoba incident. And there was something else again, a decision he took. And there was another one I remember, he had a press conference about $6,000. he spoke about it, and he said some of the people from the party legislatures went against it.
Yeah.
And he said that was the right thing to talk. He said, well, not right. So if you see somebody speaking like that or had taken one or two decisions against people close to him, then you can say, okay, I think this person can do something. But
our people, the way I hear her, I swear to God.
But Mr. So, this is the thing I'm telling you. The market realized.
Somebody want to fight police. I was in the Ivory Coast.
But
you were fight gendarme? You fight a police here, a foreign police?
Mr. So, here's the thing. The market here there, they say they cannot leave red light. Okay. Go have a meeting. Why? What is your grievance? Why you don't want to leave? Yeah, the problem. Okay, we'll find solution to the problem this time. If this problem will find solution, will you be willing to leave? Yes. Okay. Go and solve the problem, and say, hey, this is why you say this is it. Now it's not time for people to leave.
What kind of modern society? What kind of modern society will want modern society? And you see, there'll be some pictures I want to pull out here at some point in time, and you just have, just build. There's no sidewalk for people to walk because people have built and people selling. We want vendors who want people to sell. Then I have the Ghana. We want to be like Ghana. Then I have Ghana. Then I have what like.
Look at Mr. So. Oh, you talk about Mirror Broad Street those days down Mirror Broad, it was clear. People used to walk. But today, there's no way. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you go give this sport, have this meeting with them in this community, this will come to do this. And this is why you people say, yeah, we're going to do it. And we are doing it, so it's not time for you to leave. And you said, no, fine. What you do, 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning, get your police people folded, equipped, and deploy them. And they should not even say a word. They just take their finger, follow it this way.
Are you giving them an ultimatum to do that now?
I'm not in the leadership, but they are technicians.
Are you asking them to do that? Do you want them to do something?
Listen, if people are somewhere and they have been relocated, everything that humanly can be done for them to move, and they refuses, then the next thing you have to enforce the law.
Okay, let me take this guy here and we'll be going home. But the conversation going to be getting underway in subsequent programs. 612 number 0589. Good evening.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. My name is Derek Ford, calling from Minnesota.
Good evening, welcome, buddy.
Yeah, welcome back to the States. Very good, thank you for safe return.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, in the last segment, we were talking about, how, the computer lawlessness when it comes to, construction around the cities. But I think it just brought that to leadership, It just brought that. When people turn left and turn right, they don't see no hope, so everybody's just doing their own thing, So, I think that if you get a new leadership, somebody that really means business and people can see real example from the top, from that leadership.
So let me intercept you have a little bit engagement here, real to leadership from the top. Is it the leaders telling them to do that, or something right is not being done for which they are doing what they are doing?
Yeah, it's like the father in the home is not, showing the right example. Obviously, children will not behave right.
What is the father not doing? What is the father not doing? Is he building in the streets of Monrovia, sidewalks and stuff, or what?
It's also. One of the biggest structural holes this gives us another rundown of the father in the home. Just went to a girlfriend's house and he met another employee there, right? And he had to get order from the fire the employee. So this situation, circulates around the city. People know what's going on. So when everything you turn around, there's corruption, people building from stolen money. So everybody just like pretty much it's anarchy. Everybody doing their own thing. You know, so I mean, I'm really sure because just take for example, we that come to America. I mean, you say, oh yes, America got rules and regulations, but yes, I mean, human being once you set the rules and you set the regulations, human being will live within it. You know what I mean? But if you go, I mean, it says, you know, I mean, when you gain the shape of the bat, you hang like the bat. So in Liberia, it's nothing but chaos. You know? So that's the reason why people don't want to say what they are doing. You know,
Okay.
so
All
yeah,
right.
I strongly believe that if we do get
So how can what's your name again, my dear brother?
a
Oh yeah. Do we have the ability to have this sort of conversation to change the narrative to help in the process as well? Are we doing enough on our end to create that sort of education to say to help to fix some of these things? Are we doing enough?
Well, the truth of the matter is, you know, I mean, we are, like you right there, you're a journalist, right? But at some point, you have to pick a side. When I say pick a side, you're not gonna be public about it. You can be private about it. You have to talk to your own people. You know what I mean? To say, look, I think it's because I mean, at the end of the day, our culture is at stake, right? Our culture is at stake, and we have to all work to see how best we can. I know I got my son. I know I'm supporting. I'm already starting to talk to my people. So because
Well, are you
I'm
talking
very
about the
clear.
presidency or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Or
sir. For a new leadership, yeah.
you have made a pick?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Most definitely, yes, sir.
Can you share that with us? That's a good one.
Yeah,
What?
all
So
they say
what
is
have
that
you heard? If you don't even want to call a name here quickly, I don't want to have a overnight interview. What have you heard from this individual for which you have made a pick?
the biggest concern I have about this individual, right, and you already laid that concern to rest, is whether or not he can take decision on close friends. What do I mean by that?
What's the
Because
name of that? What's the first name of that individual? You care to tell us?
it's all ABC. That's all I can say ABC,
ABC.
right?
Okay.
Because the truth is everybody that come across this man would come with nothing but good name, right? He's a cool guy, he's nice. But if you really want a cool leader, right? So I was more concerned about whether or not with his coolness he can also be hard. And I'm saying that he can be hard, right?
Mhm.
By taking decisions on close friends. And one of the things that he said in one interview that I read it, blew my mind. I said, I mean, he answered my question without me asking him.
I'm working on a special interview with your guy, and there's a question that have not been asked. And that's the question. I'm just waiting to confirm that. And that's the question. If that interview, if we are working at the modality, it will be fascinating. And that question have not been asked. I see people talking all around here and just think they want to do an entertainment. But I'm waiting when he confirm when he's going to be appearing here, and that's what we're going to ask that question. All right, my man. We
Yeah,
are
so
back.
let me just finish real life when
Mm,
because like I
mm.
say, the insurance is late. Colin Powell, said that he said a leader is not afraid to piss people off, right?
Yeah.
So Mr. Committee said the same thing in a whole different way. He said leadership is lonely. That means when you start really pissing people off, well, I mean, you start firing people start turning their back on you, right?
Mm.
So you said leadership is lonely, and I'm really impressed by that statement.
Okay.
Because I know leaders are trying to be lonely because when you start taking hard decisions, people start getting angry with you, oh, this and that, So yeah, but anyways, yeah. So again,
Mhm.
good leadership in Liberia will really set the tone. And I'm pretty sure Liberians are not animals. They will start saying that.
So
Good leadership
you have come to the
is
you have come to the full conclusion. ABC is the guy that gonna said that.
yes, yes, yes. He's a principle-minded man. Yes, sir.
Was there any wrong political choice on his part to make or try to form a political alliance in your view, or as a supporter of him with those people that he hang out with? Do you think that was a
You
wrong
see,
political choice?
that's a good question. But the thing is, like, the fact remains that he's a person, he's an individual. He's not going to do everything right. But the reason for some of the decision is that he already said that look, the whole Nigeria is corrupt, basically, right?
Mhm.
Not everybody, but at least 90% is corrupt. Because you said corruption is in the church, corruption is in the mosque, corruption is in the school, corruption is everywhere, right? So when you go in the system, you're gonna have to work with somebody. You're going to have to work with
Airline
somebody.
corruption everywhere,
Right?
everywhere.
So you have to work with somebody. But you always insisting, I want to be on the top because why? if you saw the chat, and this is the make the thing because imagine you being bad person in somebody, the person be trying to be color. What can you do? Nothing.
Okay.
You know, so that's why he keeps pushing and pushing for the top. So,
All
you know, I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not going to do everything perfect, but you know, again, you know, he's my individual.
I'm pushing the button to have in here because there's one question as far as I'm concerned I've not been asked, and I'm waiting when you come here. I want to have a conversation. Thank you so much, man. All right, all right, all right. And Mr. George,
Yeah.
this is what we do here at LPR. We're going to bring the curtain down here. We are back. The labor going to be in, hopefully. The guy from Nairobi running a little bit errands today, so we couldn't get here. Oh, this person calling, but I don't think let's just, oh my goodness. Okay, I don't want to be mean the first day, so let's see here. Let's give a meaning a call. 862 number, are you there? Yeah, can you lower your monitor, please? 862, are you there? Hello? 862, are you there? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, can you lower your monitor because we're getting a feedback? What's your name? Go ahead quickly. We're almost about to go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's hear from you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Good evening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Just lower your monitor. That's why you're getting the voice coming back to you, so it becomes. Just lower. Your...
James Momo, I'm calling from the state of New Jersey.
Okay, Mr. Momo, what's up, Momo?
I just wanted to comment on.
Yeah, the monitor you're listening to there too. That why it kept coming back to you. Okay. So just lower it and you'll be good. Are you there? Uh-oh. Mr. Momo, are you there? Okay, well, let's leave on there for the following day. All right, Mr. Momo. Okay, so Pa George, it's good that we are back and we're going to be picking up from here. I don't know how things going to load in a couple of days, week again with all this sort of development, but notwithstanding, we're going to keep the ball. I miss you. And the guy that I met, you were talking, said, hey, that puppy, the man can call him from the far right. So honestly, people listening, what about, I think we have a greater part to play into our transformation process in terms of the message, the education we also have to create so that people will be able to make informed decisions. I was shocked when a young man came right in my face. I was like, what the heck with this guy? Why you just come and just call my name like that? I said, no, and I mean, man, are you? Then you go put a video. But it shows that people, and I think people in the media are taking advantage because people are in desperation in the sense that they want to hear something concrete, something tangible, or something that will make them to make some sort of informed decisions of their country. But we have people all over the place. They're supporting the government, they're supporting the opposition, but they are unable to interpret the actual message of these people, these political leaders they support. Instead, their 2 hours is being used to insult and talk nonsense that doesn't even make sense, no coherent message, but yet and say they are supporting these people. So if you are that kind of type of person that's supporting somebody who you want to be the president, how can I possibly do a business with that kind of person? When you need to know the person's agenda, what the person to represent, and come on your podcast and be able to persuade and effectively sell the person. But they don't. They either come talk about themselves, how they do this, how they do this, and how they do this, and you have 5 minutes of the portion and just call that person name once and twice, and they use another 10 minutes to insult, to talk about somebody. They say, what is the message? What's a final word before we go?
Yes, Mr. So, and let me say thank you, and to all our followers. We are back, and we hope you will follow us and continue to join us to move this conversation forward. But Mr. So, and this is why I will tell people.
I learned you were going to contest for representative in Bond County.
No, sir.
Why? Why you don't want to get what? How many kids got it last time? Huh? How many kids got? You don't want to be part of that group?
No. I think I fit for the position. I prefer to continue to question people. Are you
willing to be questioned as well?
Oh, sure. But if I'm willing to be questioned, then I will put myself in that position.
No problem. You can still be questioned here. We too, we should be questioned by people of power, and that's what it's supposed to be doing. And I think that's why they need to encourage people come and just throw news out there without verifying, without even checking their whatever information. We should also be questioned, because things that we put out there does have the propensity to also create a chaotic situation. We just get things overnight and just come breaking news. I got into my sources. So come on, sources will be at least 3%. Then it's but you don't have to disclose it, but they just hear it and they just throw it out there. All right, so let me share with you some of the funds on the feast aspect in my own town, in my own village.
That night I saw you were partying that night. You had this thing, the caption test broadcast. I said, hey, Mr.
See another woman here from a nearby town. Usually when this thing when things happen, people from different towns, villages. In fact, people came from the Ivory Coast. My own town is to the border. But this is a son for my late mother, and the woman, when the cook they come in to reach the town, that sort of excitement. Let's watch and see. Okay, let me listen to it. Let me see. What's wrong with? Oh, let me. So, Papa George, I know you also, traditions is very good. That was after slaughtering the cow, the dividing towns, villages, and every group. The lady in the white there, she's a cheerleader for another town. And so the woman, after cooking their own cows, they bring it in the town, and you will see the other group. Subsequently, we play that from the Ivory Coast side. So it was, that's a tradition that would bring all of that, put them on the table, and then the elders in the town, they will begin to, strangers that kind of begin to apportion it, sending it to different houses and stuff. This other one here, this another group here. Let's see. So there's one here that my own town people, they cook their own cow hay or whatever cow too. They come. I mean, it was in yesterday it was a colorful ceremony. Just tradition. There's something. It's part of our culture and it's unique. No matter what we do, we go back. You see all that in that stuff. Right to it's like a pantage. They cook those things, put the food in those big calabash, and just break it, and everybody, just have fun, with it, and then that's how we disperse. But let me take my microphone. Okay, so that was it. So for George, thank you so much. I
didn't tell you because when I went to Monrovia and the people say you go to, I said no, I cannot go to the river. I don't have the time. But then somebody said no. I said I will just go there for 2 hours and come back the same day because someone was carrying me. So somebody I got there. People the word has spread from other villages and things. They started conversion. So when I got there, they said, "Are you sleeping here?" I said, "No, I'm not sleeping. I got to go back." They said,
"Okay,
people coming." I said, "But what are people coming for?" They said, "Oh, but they heard that you're coming, so they're coming tonight. So you can." I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry." And some of the women came. They said, "You going back?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "But we heard you here, so we'll come." I said, "I'm on my way back." So I just end up paying people way to say, "Hey, look, it was not a plane trip." Normally when I come,
you learn the highway. Who said you don't plan anything for those people that that's the way. All right, man. Okay, Mr. George, I want to thank you so much, and to our viewers and listeners, thank you for your patience. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We'll always be having this sort of conversation here, fair, balanced, and proportionate. I give everybody the chance to get the other side of the story. I am Alfonso Zean of the Liberia Public Radio, back here at the New England Bureau there. Subsequently, we want to be coming with more programs and some images as well. And we will also welcome your say into our conversations. Until then, have a pleasant evening and bye-bye.
Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital. Loyal them. That sickness that devouring you. I say, let it go. The barrenness, pack your load and go. Living the life of joblessness.